Hello and welcome to another episode of the Bobbi Jo and Sheena Show. I am your co-host Bobbi Jo. That is my friend and colleague Sheena Kantar. Hi
Hello,
Sheena.
hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Remember to like and subscribe because it's going to be some nice information here.
Today we decided we're going to talk about the blame game. Oh,
Blame
making
game.
excuses. The blame game, making excuses and blaming. This is a big one. People are so addicted to their stories, aren't they?
The first time I really heard this and really felt it, and the experience of it was whenever we were watching Peggy McCall, whenever we did our consultant training, and she stood there and I felt like she was talking to me, and she had on the board, make excuses or make money. And so
Oh,
then when I went, she put an offer on the board and I went up to talk to her and I was just about to make every excuse under the sun. And I realized that I couldn't speak because I realized that everything coming out my mouth was an excuse. I wasn't aware that that's what I'd been doing. But here's the thing, Bobbi Jo, that I really felt, and I got it this morning as well. It's been a big morning for me. When we making excuses is blaming something for not happening. So I couldn't do this because I didn't have the money. I couldn't do this because they didn't let me. Everything's an experience of self. So what's happening when you make an excuse is you're blaming what you think is something else. But hang on, money's just money. Who's experiencing the blame? Me. So when we look at the map of consciousness, it's like the bottom level thing. We'll talk about that another time, but it is the lowest vibration you could ever be in, let me tell you. And so here's the thing that I'm doing to myself, blaming me. So what does blame then bring? Shame,
mm,
guilt. I don't know.
mm.
I mean, hands up who's been racked with shame and guilt. And I thought it was just the Catholic religion. Well, here's the thing. I just carried on and did it to myself and made excuses, which meant I was blaming myself. And here's this thing. This body doesn't think for itself. I am not this body. I'm not even the thoughts. I'm not even the mind. And I was literally telling my body what to do by making an excuse,
Mm.
blaming myself, and
Mm.
then beating myself up for blaming. So then I'm in shame, and then I'm in guilt, and I lived my life like that. Like, is anybody having freaking light bulb moments here? So please don't make excuses because you're just blaming yourself.
Yeah, the conditioning though, the program in our subconscious mind, the way we're set up right now, you might be listening to Sheena and going, yeah, but, or yeah, but, and this is the thing of the blaming going on because you're putting that energy outside of yourself. You're putting the power outside of yourself, right? And that's what we put ourselves at dis-ease with all of this, people, because our mind is so powerful. It's the awareness of what you're constantly thinking every minute, every moment, every hour, every day. What are we thinking? Are you placing it there? Are you judging here? That's another day. We can talk like a week about judgment, but it's the same category under here about blaming, putting excuses outside of yourself, putting the power into someone else. And it all starts here, baby. So I have this one quote that I love that my stepdaughter came home and she was in fifth grade. And this is the power that some teachers have that you just never know. I mean, and this is probably 10, 12 years ago, about ish. She came home and she said, my teacher said this quote, if it's important, you will find a way. And if it's not, you will find an excuse. And so I just have always loved that quote. And that teacher never, I want to know who that teacher is that, she impacted that little girl that day to come home and say it to me. And I just have loved it ever since. And it's so true. If you want anything in your life bad enough, whether it's, maybe you want the ring, maybe you want the car, maybe you want the house, maybe you want a certain pair of pants, like whatever it is, if you want it, you're going to get it. And if you're not, you're going to make an excuse about why it can't happen. So I have a really hard time with people sometimes, like, I'm showing up to this thing this afternoon and we meet every second Tuesday of the month. And I saw this, oh, I have a meeting I have to go to. And it's just like, you know about this for a year out. And that's club. We meet every Tuesday of the month. And it's just, I don't want to react to it, but I find myself wanting to react to it. Girl, I just want to call them out and be like, if it's important, but it doesn't matter because it's not my shit to deal with. So I just allow it and I just smile and I think, why am I judging her? So I catch myself in judging somebody else about their crap. And that's so funny because all I can do is just love that person because they don't even have the awareness that they're doing that.
Yeah.
So what are
It's
you aware
yeah.
about? Sorry. What are you aware about in your life? And I'll let Sheena talk. What are you aware about? What are you blaming? Start to just pause every moment and you just see what your thoughts are driving down the road, walking into a store, going into work. What are you thinking about? Because you're creating your reality with those thoughts. Take it away, Sheena.
But it was just really what reminded me what you said there was about the honesty. Like own it. If you don't want to go to the meeting, just say, I don't want to go to the meeting. But please, for goodness sake, because as soon as you say anything after it, I'm not even listening because I know it's an excuse. Listen, I was queen of excuses. I've heard all of them because I did all of them. I am you. So make no, we've learned from experience, which creates the wisdom. This is not like knowledge that we've just read in a book. It's literally understanding. Okay, I used to make that excuse. Is that exactly what I'm doing? So whenever you say like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm late, and then you go because, well, nobody's listening. Like, no, everybody knows, yeah, whatever. Well, you should have left 10 minutes earlier because all the traffic's going to be bad, blah, blah, blah. So just walk in and just go, I appreciate you waiting for me. And I appreciate your time. Let's get started straight away. Now, isn't that nicer than making a stupid excuse? Nobody's listening. Love that.
And it's true. I remember hearing that a long time ago. Don't say I'm sorry. I mean, it is nice to be apologetic,
If you're
but
sorry, be
say I
sorry for whatever you're
apologize.
sorry for. Yeah.
But saying I apologize for being late instead of saying I'm sorry. You're right on that. Yeah, and the excuses that people make. So, when something pisses you off, I just want to say to calm down for a second, see if what that person is doing is something that you do. I recently was in the car with somebody and they're just getting all irate about certain things. But then a minute later, they did the same thing. And I was kind of a jerk. And I go, see, you just did something that you were bitching at somebody else who a minute ago about doing. It's
But we
like,
can't see it, Bobbi Jo. That's the thing. We can't see
but
it
who
until
am I to
somebody
be the
does.
caller
Yeah.
router? I mean, I'm not perfect. I have to work so much on myself, but it's bringing the awareness to them because people don't even know.
Yeah. But here's the thing: the back of the book, Think and Grow Rich. There's a list of 50 excuses that people make. Like, I tell you what, go and read them and tell me, have you actually made every single one of those excuses? I'm sure you have. So, like, sometimes you think that the excuse may be valid, so let's go to something that that's deep, that I can't do this because or whatever, and it may be a very, very valid excuse. My question to you is, do you want that excuse? Because if you keep saying it, it will always be your excuse. So whenever you feel an excuse coming up that you've always made, that you literally stop and you ask yourself, do I want to keep this excuse? And if the answer is no, well, then go and do something about it. Well, what can I do? That's a moving forward statement. What can I do? It gives your subconscious something to work on. But if you keep saying, well, I can't because, well, done, end of story. But, well, no, I don't want that excuse anymore. I want to let that go. What can I do? And then you will be given something that will give you the answer, or be honest with you, just going, I don't actually want to do it. I don't want to go to that meeting with Bobbi Jo. Well, then don't go. Don't pretend. Like, stop it. We'd all rather you didn't go. You know what I mean? So it's about, this is honesty, and sometimes it's not nice. And I know some people who will not face their honesty and would rather keep their pain than actually look at why you're making an excuse. It's like you get Don Miguel Ruiz called it, like, it's like you get a thorn in you, and like, instead of taking it out and looking at it, you protect it. So then you get another thorn, and then you spend your life protected. So your whole body's protected and contracted. Well, if you just rip the damn thorn out in the first place and we're honest, and there'd be nothing to protect, and you could be open and like, I don't want to go to the meeting. Bobbi Jo would be so much happier if you said that. Just go, fine, I don't want you there
I
either.
know.
No.
Yeah. So that's it, I guess. Be honest with yourself, and you're right, because I remember I've managed places before and people call in. As soon as they say, I can't make it today, I turn off and go, okay, thank you. That's it. Doesn't matter. My sister's husband's brother's dog died. Like, it's a story. And I know sometimes there is really a death, but a lot of times there is just an excuse and someone's just saying, wah, wah, wah. So be honest with yourself. Who are you blaming? What is going on and what are the excuses and why are you holding on to that story? Isn't it just let go of that emotional baggage? It's like this big backpack you have on of all your stories and the blame. And it's like, and there's some shitty ass things that have happened to people, and I know it. But you know what? You can't change it. So just start loving yourself and rewrite the story, because why hold on to that for 3, 4 more decades? Why? Why? Do you really want to be there 40 years from now telling that same story? Just, and it's funny because people really do. Because I know it too. I had a stepdad. It wasn't even the greatest, but it's like you want people to understand your past, understand you now. But why? Why can't I just say he was amazing? Great. Amazing.
Yeah,
I've
change the
moved on.
story. Yeah. Live with that one for the next 40 years. You've lived with the other for 40 years. Now I have it. Now I have a better one.
Try that.
Absolutely. Make excuses or get results. I don't know. It's up to you.
Perfect ending. See you again. Have a great day.
Say it again. Have a good day.